Hi, good morning. So, this will be the discussion of the PowerPoint that I have sent to you yesterday. So, we'll be just discussing it in our video here. So, let us go first with the financial mathematics. So, when we say financial mathematics, it is the branch of mathematics that deals with the value of money over time. So, in financial mathematics, you will learn the following here. So, it helps us to solve problems involving savings. When you say savings, yun yung mga pera na iniipon natin or something na valuable that will earn money in the future. Then we have here investments. Kapag sinabing investments, those are things na kung saan tinitrade natin yung value ng money natin into something. Examples, good investment that you can have is mga real estate, mga lupa, or even gold, yan, mga investments yung tawag natin dyan. Then we have here loans. Kapag sinabing loans, yun yung mga inuutang natin sa bangko. Then we have here installments. So, this is something na, kunyari, if you want something na you can't afford to have it on cash or upfront na bayaran mo yung bagay na gusto mo, we call it as installment or nagbibigay tayo ng pera with the same value nung bagay na gusto natin but it is divided into smaller amounts, no? Then we have here the interest. Kapag sinabing interest, this is something na kapag humiram ka ng pera from the bank or nagpahiram ka ng pera, it will accumulate money or madadagdagan yung hiniram mo or pinahiram mo, and we call that as the interest. Then we have here annuities. Mostly sa annuities, ito yung mga binabayaran natin that will secure us in the future. Example here is yung sa mga SSS contributions natin, no? So, once you are retired, this is something na pagtanda mo, you are not able to work, meron kang pension na makukuha. Those are examples of annuities. Then, we have mortgages. Kapag sinabing mortgage, mostly sa mga home loan, yan. Ginagamit natin yung pera to para sa home improvement or to buy properties or mga bahay na meron tayo. Then we have here the retirement plans, no? So, let us go here with our objectives. So, first, identify the concepts of sequences and series, which we have already discussed before, na what are the differences between sequences and series, and now we'll be applying it into financial mathematics. Number 2, apply sequence and series and problem solving financial problems. Then we have here determine the accumulated values of investment using sequences and series. Kapag sinabing accumulated values, what is the future value na pwedeng bayaran natin with the investment or the loans na kinuha natin. Here, apply sequence and series to solve financial problems such as periodic payments for loans and mortgages. So, dito naman, magagamit natin to when we are trying to borrow money from the bank or we are going to lend money to someone. We can calculate ano ba yung mas maganda or which bank is better na manghiram, which is kung saan pwede nating i-calculate kung magkano ba yung accumulated value in the future. Kung saan yung mas mura, of course, doon tayo, no? Yan yung mga applications na meron tayo dito. And determine the accumulated values of investment over time using sequences and series. So, we'll be using sequence and series to determine the future value kung magkano ba yung hiniram at pinahiram nating pera with our financial mathematics, no? So, what is the difference between series and sequence? So, we already know this one. As we said, sequence is an ordered list of numbers that follows a specific rule or pattern. And then the examples that we have 15,000, 30,000, 45,000. So, as you can see here, the pattern that we have is that it is adding 15,000 every term na meron tayo. So, the same with the sequence, no? Here, ang pinagkaiba lang, we were using amount of money. Before, they were just numbers with series and sequence for us to understand it better in a simple way. But now, gagamitin natin siya with the financial use naman yung series and sequence natin. Next, series is the sum of terms of a sequence. So as you can see here, also the same with the first discussion with series and sequence, no? Yung series natin, it is the addition of all the terms in our sequence here. So as you can see here, the same example, 15,000 plus 30,000 plus 45, the same sequence na meron tayo, but the difference, kapag ka sinabing sequence, it is the ordered list. Kapag ka sinabing series, it is the addition or the summation of all the terms inside our sequence, no? So, for us to understand it more in simple terms, kapag ka sinabing sequence, the ordered list of numbers. Kapag ka sinabing series, the sum of the numbers in the sequence. That's why we use the sigma sign, which is the summation sign, which will add all the terms in our sequence. So first, we should know here, when we say annually, once in every year or every 12 months, then we have here quarterly, which is done every 3 months. So we have 4 quarters in a year, which is January, February, March, the first quarter. March, April, May, June, second. July, August, September, third quarter. October, November, December, which is the fourth quarter. So kapag ka sinabing quarterly, automatically it is equals to 4. Annually, from the word itself, annual, which means once a year. And then we have here the semi-annually, which is every 6 months or twice a year natin siyang ginagawa. No? So, let us have here the interest compounding. Kapag ka sinabing interest compounding, it is the process of calculating interest on both the original price and the accumulated interest from the periods. So kapag ka sinabi natin compound interest, no, it is also mostly known as the interest on interest. Kasi kung saan, example, you have invested 100 pesos and then with 10% interest rate, in 1 year, it will also earn 10 pesos. So, ang mangyayari ngayon, your 10 pesos, which is first year interest from 100 pesos, they will be added together. And then the next year, you still wanted to rest your money in the bank. Ang starting point mo na or the starting money mo na is 110 pesos. And then after a year, kikita din yung interest mo na 10 pesos, no? It will earn 1 peso. So, the second year, ang interest mo na ngayon is instead of 10 pesos lang, magiging 11 pesos na siya. Kasi yung interest mo na 10 pesos already earned an interest, which is magiging 11 pesos na siya. So, as you can see, yung interest mo in the first year, kikita din siya ng interest on the second year. That is why compound interest is also known as the interest on interest. Then here, compound interest functions similar to the geometric sequence because the total amount is multiplied by the same growth factor in each compounding period. So as you can see here, no, kapag sinabing compound interest, it is the application nung geometric sequence natin. Kasi in the same manner, in the same pattern, your money will earn a fixed amount which will be multiplied to the principal amount na meron tayo, no? So here, example, if you save 10,000 with 5% annual compound interest, you will earn an interest on both 10,000, which is the principal, and the interest you have already earned. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, no? This is the interest on interest. So if you try to solve this one, 10,000 times 5%, ano yung makukuha natin? Let us try here, no? Kuha tayong calculator. So as you can see here, if we're going to get the 5% of 10,000 times 0.05, that is equivalent to 500. So, in 1 year, kapag kumita yung 10,000 pesos mo, no, kikita siya ng 500 in 1 year. So, as you can see here, your interest will be 500 pesos. So, now you have 10,500 pesos. And then, on the second year that you want to still rest your money in the bank, still it will have 5%. So, multiply natin siya by 0.05. That is equivalent to 525. So, as you can see here, the first year na in-invest mo yung 10,000 mo, it will earn 500 pesos. On the second year, it will now earn 525. So, sir, bakit po siya naging 525? It's because the first interest mo na 500, it will be added to your principal amount and it will earn 25 pesos on the next year. So, as you can see here, your interest here na 500 pesos also earned an interest on the next year. So, sabi ko nga kanina, that is why they call the compound interest as the interest on interest, no? Then here, so the summary that we have here, compound interest calculates earning on both your original or the principal amount, as I have said before, and all the interest you have already earned, no? Kung saan yung principal amount mo, it will be added to your earned money, and then on the next year, those money, both the principal and the accumulated interest will be added together. Then on the next year, it will also earn an interest, no? It follows the pattern of geometric sequence. Each compounding period, your total amount is multiplied by a fixed growth factor, allowing your money to grow faster over time. So that is interest on interest. So it is better, no, if you are going to borrow a money or you are going to lend a money to someone, compound interest is the best option because your money will grow uh, in multiple, or it will grow much faster kapag compound interest siya, no? So as you can see here, example number 1, if you invest 15,000 pesos at an interest rate of 4%, compounded once a year. So since once a year lang siya, ang interest natin will be multiplied to 0.04%, which is equivalent yung 15,000 times 0.04, that's equivalent to 600 pesos. So now the total that you have will be 15,600. So as you can see here, we started at 15,000. Now you will be starting at second year, which is 15,600. Kung saan yung first mo, which is the initial or the principal amount, then you have here the interest that you have will be added together. On the second year, it will be your starting point. Then again, with per percent interest rate, 15,600 times 0.04, it will earn 624 on the second year. So as you can see here, the 24 pesos is accumulated from the 600 pesos na interest na meron tayo. So as you can see, the interest here, which is 600, which is here, also earned an interest, which is this one. So this is an interest on interest. So the total na makukuha mo na ngayon on the second year is 16,224. And in the third year, you still wanted to rest your money in the bank. So again, the starting point mo na ngayon is 16,224, in which 15,600 plus 624, it will be now the starting point or the principal amount mo on the third year. At the same rate of 0.04, it will earn 648.96, which is in total, you will now have 16,872.96. So that is the process of compound interest, no? So example here, let's say we have the semi-annual compounding or twice a year. Your deposit is 20,000 at 6% annual interest, compounded every 6 months. So, ang gagawin mo, since this is every 6 months, it means it is twice a year. So, the rate na meron tayo 6%, divide mo siya into 2. Why? Bakit 2? Because every 6 months. So, ang magiging rate niya ngayon, for 6 months or every 6 months is 3% or 0.03. So, after 6 months, the interest from 20,000, multiply mo siya from 0.03, makukuha mong total is 600 pesos. So, the total amount now na meron ka is 20,600. So, after 1 year, the interest now will be 20,600. Yan. So, next 6 months na tayo, i-multiply mo siya ulit sa 0.03 to complete the 1 year na meron tayo. So 20,600 times 0.03, it will have a total of 618. So after 1 year, the total na makukuha mo in investing 20,000 pesos with 6% annual interest rate that is compounded every 6 months, the total money that you will have after a year is 21,218. No? So here, example number 3, monthly compounding, which means it is compounded every month. So every month meron siya dapat makukuhang rate. So as you can see here, if you save 8,000 pesos at 12% annual interest compounded every month, so ang gagawin natin, hanapin muna natin yung rate natin per month or magkano yung percentage nakikitain niya every month. So sabi niya dito, annual interest, so 12%, i-divide natin yan. Since monthly, in 1 month we have 12 months, divide natin into 12. So that is equivalent to 1% or 0.01. So after 1 month, first interest natin, 8,000 times 0.01, it will earn 80 pesos. So the total earnings that you have or the total money that you have after 1 month is 8,080. On the second month, it will be the starting point mo ngayon, times 0.01 mo siya, 80.80, total of 8,160. On the third month, this will be the starting point, and then 0.01 again, 81.61, and then the total is 8,242 on the third month. Then on so on and so forth. So gagawin mo lang siya hanggang 12 months yung gagawin mo para makita mo kung magkano yung makukuha mo in 1 year. Okay? So a loan now is a sum of money borrowed from the bank or lender that must be repaid over a specific period of time, usually with interest, no? So mostly kapag kumukuha ka ng loan, meron talaga siyang interest rate na meron tayong sinusundan, and then that rate will follow kung magkano ba yung babayaran mo monthly. So mostly kapag umutang ka sa bangko, no, hindi naman pwedeng kunyari 10,000 yung hiniram mo, 10,000 din na ibabalik mo. Hindi pwede 'yon. Syempre meron silang tubo para sa pera na natutulog nila sa iyo or pinahiram sa inyo. Example, borrowing 1 million pesos from a bank, purchase a home, and repaying it through monthly payments with interest, no? So that is example of loan. Loan is an amount of money borrowed from a bank lender you must repay over time, no? Dapat may sinusundan kayong monthly basis or paano ba yung bayaran niyo. Example, if it is monthly, every 2 months, ganyan, every time na meron kayong payment that binabayaran mo siya, which is a specific value, divided depending on how many years you are going to pay the loan that you get, no? Example, you borrow 1 million from the bank to buy a house and paid over 20 years with interest. You will receive the full 1 million pesos. But now, I think there is a percentage here, the processing fee na meron tayong tinatawag, which will binabawas nila with the money na inutang mo. Example, if you borrow 1 million, meron na siyang processing fee kung saan ibabawas na yung fee doon sa mismong pera mo. So, instead of 1 million, sometimes makukuha mo na lang 960,000, ganyan. Kasi may binabawas silang processing fee. So, every month you pay fixed amount to covers both part of the original loan and the interest charge. By the end of 20 years, you will have paid back more than 1 million pesos in total. No? Depende yan sa terms na meron kayo. That is why very important to learn the financial mathematics because you were able to find out magkano ba yung babayaran ko after 5 years, or let's say gusto mong mas shorter year na babayaran mo, mas makakamura ka ba or mas mapapamahal ba, no? You were able to make decisions kung ano ba yung mas magandang terms sa'yo, which will kung saan hindi gaanong lugi, or kung masasabi natin na which is mas magaan sa'yo na bayaran, no? So that is why the financial mathematics is very important for us to learn and to understand, no? Example, you have borrow 50,000 to pay the tuition that is payable over 3 years with interest. The banks will give you the 50% immediately, and you make an equal monthly payments until the loan or interest are fully charged. or fully paid, no? Example, 350,000 para pambili ng sasakyan with the repayment terms of 5 years interest, used to borrow the money to purchase vehicle, then you will pay a fixed amount monthly para mabayaran completely yung hiniram mo na pera. Okay? So, meron din tayong tinatawag na appreciation or also known as the adding value. Kapag kasi sinabing appreciation, it is the gradual increase in the value of the asset over time. This increase typically caused by the market demand, improvements on the asset, inflation, and other economic factors. So, examples that we can have here, example, kapag ka bumili ka ng lupa, okay? Kapag ka bumili ka ng lupa and then bare unit siya, wala siyang bakod, wala siyang bahay, if you are going to let's say pina-renovate mo, nagpabakod ka, then pinalagyan mo siya ng bahay, there could be an appreciation or adding value in the property that you have. Syempre before, walang bakod yan and now pinabakod mo. Example, nung walang bakod, binili mo is 400,000, tapos ngayon pinabakod mo which cost you, let's say, 200,000. So, the appreciation now pwede mo nang ibenta yung pera mo yung lupa mo from 400,000, pwede mo na siyang ibenta ng 700,000 since nagastos ka ng 200,000. Syempre, add mo na rin yung market value after a year, lalong-lalo na yung real estate natin or yung lupa natin is every year nagmamahal yan, hindi yan nagmumura, no? So, that is what we called the appreciation. And here, examples that we have, you have purchased a house for 1 million, it will increase a value appreciates by 5% annually. So, as you can see here, every year talaga yung mga lupa or mga real estate natin is, it always adds appreciation every year, no? A piece of land purchased for 500,000 pesos appreciates by 5% annually. So, if you are going to invest into something, real estate talaga is maganda and pwedeng sabihin mo na yung pera mo is mas malaking puhunan, but once na it accumulated every year, one time payment mo lang siyang ginawa, pero let's say after 5 years, 10 years, it will earn a money or it will earn a decent amount, no? Parang nagtatrabaho na rin yung pera mo silently. Okay? Then here, appreciation means an asset becomes more valuable over time. This can happen because it improves the asset. So, as you can see here, improve the asset. So, as you can see kanina, example natin, nagpabakod ka, nagpatayo ka ng bahay. Siyempre, those things, hindi naman pinagawa mo yun na pwedeng yung labor lang or yung gastos lang yung i-add mo doon, but also the time, no? Yung mga nagtrabaho, yung ginastos mo, it will adds value to your asset. And because market conditions make it more desirable. Of course, kung magpapagawa ka if you are planning to have a property, mas okay na yung may bahay agad, which will give you less time, no? Less stress sa pagpapagawa pa ng bahay. So, you can add that as a appreciation or pwede mo siyang i-add as a value doon sa property na meron ka. Then here, asset is anything of value that you own that you can sold for cash or use to generate income. So, assets, basta nag-earn siya ng money para sa'yo, then that is an asset. So, example, pwede natin sabihin yung mga sasakyan. O sometimes, it may be an liability kasi may binabayaran ka monthly pero hindi siya kumikita. Pero pag sinabi nating asset, let's say, if you have a L300 or a pickup truck na napapakinabangan mo, pwede mo siyang ma-use as a delivery option or pwede kang mag-deliver ng mga goods or something na pwedeng kumita yung sasakyan mo. Therefore, that car, we can call it as an asset, no? Then here, kapag sinabing depreciation, decreasing the value, this is the kabaligtaran ng okay, so Now, dito tayo sa depreciation. So, kabaligtaran naman to ng appreciation. So, depreciation is the gradual decrease in an asset's value over time. It is the opposite of appreciation. This decline usually happens because of the continuous use, natural aging, or the asset becomes outdated. So, mostly, example natin dito is yung mga smartphones natin, no? Smartphones originally bought for 15,000, then after a year, maybe worth 10,000, or after several years, magbababa yung value niya. Mostly, no, sa mga cellphones, alam naman natin yan na every year, pag may bagong unit, bagong, ah, bagong, ah, let's say, bagong features ng cellphone natin, syempre, magiging outdated yung mga lumang cellphone, may mga bagong may mga features na mas kayang gawin ng bagong unit natin. So, na-outdated sila or nade-depreciate yung value ng mga cellular phones natin. A watch originally bought for 250,000, no? It may decrease its value after a year or after 10 years. It may be just 100,000 after that, or depending on uh, the brand, or the condition of the things that you have or you're going to sell, no? So that is what we call depreciation. In summary, if appreciation means an asset gains value over time, the depreciation means it loses value as it gets older and more use. So that will be the topic that we'll have today, and then tomorrow I will give you some activities for this one, where you are going to solve the interest, or yes, the compound interest na meron tayo. Example, if they are going to go annually, semi-annually, monthly, no? I will give you some activities for that to solve in your class tomorrow, in case wala pa rin pasok. So that would be all, and keep safe, everyone.